Okay guys, so this is for the October 19th lesson. This is on more practice of the distributive law. So there is harder questions involving more fractions or multiple letters and on. So hopefully you have completed the previous day's homework. Then this should be not that bad, okay? Just the only thing that will make you a bit more confused is the fraction parts, but we did a lot of review on the fractions, and as I said, fraction is important, so hopefully it's okay. Again, you can download this note from the website already. I already posted, so please download and then follow through. Okay, now let's take a look at the first question, the A. I'm going to zoom in a little. Now it says simplify. Sometimes it can ask you expand as well. It can sometimes ask you expand, so it can be expand. I'll just write it, depending on the question, but they mean the same so far. Now in the first example we have 2 over 3 times x plus y. So it's the same distributive law. We have something in the very front, and then inside of the brackets we have x plus y. Now remember, if a variable doesn't have any coefficient in the front, it means the coefficient of 1. So I'll just put the ones for now. You don't have to do that. I'm just doing this to show it to you. Now, then using the distributive law, this becomes 2 over 3 times the 1. So it becomes 2 over 3 times 1, which is just 2 over 3, and then x. Then the next one is then 2 over 3 times 1, and that's then 2 over 3. And then y is there, so just the y follows through. Now, hopefully that was okay. Hopefully that was okay. Now let's go to the second example. Let's go to the second example. Now, in the second example, we have negative 3 over 4, and then 2x minus 3y. So again, this means that negative 3 over 4 times this binomial 2x minus 3y. So we have to use the distributive law, and because of that, we are going to multiply this negative 3 over 4 to the first one, 2x. So this time I will write a step by step that this becomes negative 3 over 4 times 2, and then x. I'll just copy the x for now. And then the next one is that I have to multiply negative 3 over 4 by negative 3y. So I'm just going to copy that as well. Negative 3 over 4 times, so minus 3 over 4 times negative 3y. Now, as you know, numbers are multiplied by the numbers. Numbers are multiplied by the numbers. So the first one becomes negative 3 times 2 over 4. Remember, when you're multiplying a fraction by a whole number, the whole number is multiplied to the top. So this becomes negative 6 over 4x, and same thing for this part. So I have negative 3 times negative 3, so that gives me positive 9 over 4y. Now, the only thing that you have to be very careful of when you're dealing with a fraction is that you have to reduce them fully. So if you take a look at the first one can be reduced to a 3 over 2, because both of them can be divided by 2. And 9 over 4 cannot be reduced anymore, so it just stays as 9 over 4y. Now, hopefully that was okay. Now let's go to the next example. Ooh, kind of wiggles. I never knew. Now then the last one I have is 1 over, not the last one, sorry, the C I have is 1 over 2 times x plus y plus z. So it's again distributive law. So we're going to multiply this 1 over 2 to every single thing in the front of, in the front to the terms inside of the brackets. So in this case, it is 1 over 2 times x. Again, remember, if you're multiplying a number, a single number, by a single letter, all you need to do is just write them right beside each other. Okay, so 1 over 2x. Then second one will be 1 over 2y, and then the third one will be 1 over 2z. Okay, if there is a number, for example, like in the b, I had a number in the front and the number in the front here. So when I was multiplying negative 3 over 4 by 2x, 2x already had a number. So that 2 has to be multiplied to it. The reason why, if you don't have any number, and we simply just put the number and the letter together, is because if you don't have any number, it means you have 1 in the front. So 1 times whatever the number is, just whatever that number itself. So it doesn't really change, and it becomes just the number itself. That's why, as a shortcut, we simply can put the 1 over 2, or the number, just the number, multiplied by the letter, is just the number with the letter right beside each other. Okay? Now let's go to then D. Okay? Now for D, we have then 3 over 5x, so it's a mixture of number and the letter. We already practiced it in class, times this. So this becomes 15 over 5, since 3 over 5 times 5 is 15 over 5. 5 times 3 in the top, right? 5 times 3 becomes 15. So it's 15 over 5. And then we have x times x. Therefore, this becomes x squared. Okay? The second thing is then 3 over 5x times negative 10z. So number by number, don't forget. So this becomes negative, since it's positive 3 over 5 times negative 10. So positive negative becomes negative. Then 3 times 10, again, whole number times the top, will become 30. And denominator doesn't change so far. Now when you're multiplying two letters, but two different letters, then all you need to do is just put them together right beside each other. Okay? Now, since we're dealing with the fractions, we have to reduce the fractions. Therefore, this becomes 3x squared minus 6xz. Okay? Now, let's go to E. Hopefully everyone is following along. Okay? I'll do more examples again in class. Now, let's say we have xy times x plus y. So, whatever we have in the front is now xy. Okay? And then obviously, since it's multiplied by the binomial x plus y, we have to use the distributive law. So it's xy times x as the first term. So then we go of the letter by letter, number by number, and the same letter by same letter, obviously, for the letter part. There is no number, meaning it's 1, so we don't really have to write anything. But in this case, we have x times x, so this becomes x squared. Now, y was with the xy, so it was attached together. There is nothing. It's just 1, so we can simply copy the y down. The next one is xy times plus y, or positive y. Then we have positive, since it is a positive times positive, I will write the positive in blue. And then we have x, and there's no x, so just x follows along. Now we have y times y, so this becomes y squared. Now there's no fraction, so we don't have to reduce anything, and we cannot combine these two. Okay, we cannot add or collect the terms for these two. The reason is we have xy, xy, good, we have the same letters, right? xy, xy, but the power for the x part is not the same as power for the x part here. And also the power for the y part is not the same as the power for the y part right there, okay? They have to be the same in order for them to be able to collect it, okay? So make sure, okay? Make sure you collect the like terms properly. Now, we have 2 more to go, and let's do F. It seems a slightly longer than the other examples, but it's pretty much the same rule. Okay, it's pretty much the same rule. So in this case, what we have in the front is xy, so that will be multiplied to the front. Since this is a distributive law, we're getting rid of the brackets, and meaning we're expanding it. So this gives you xy times xy, so it is x times x, x squared. Now, and then y times y, y squared. Then the next is xy times z. Now, x, y, z, they are all different letters, so all you need to do is just put x, y, z, but it is a positive, right? It is a positive xy times positive z, so it should be positive up here, okay, or down here. Now, lastly, xy times y cubed. So, again, this is positive times positive, so I will be writing positive. And then you have x with no x, so x follows along, but we have y times y squared, so this becomes y cubed, okay? Again, after this, we have to collect the like terms, xy, xyz, xy, at least this one is different letters compared to these two, right? So I cannot do anything about this one, just leave it. Now I have x squared, y squared. Let's see whether we have the same thing for the black one. We have xy cubed. So we don't have x squared, y squared, so we cannot collect the like terms, so we have to leave the answer in this way. Okay? Now, then let's go to the last question. Now, the last question, we have x squared y cubed times x minus 2xy plus 5xz. So again, it's a distributive law because we don't have anything in between the brackets and whatever that's in the front. So this means that this times the whole thing. That's why it should be distributive law. Okay? Now, when you're doing the distributive law, you are multiplying what's in front of it to every single term inside of the brackets. So here then we have x squared times y cubed, x squared times y cubed times x. So this will give you x cubed, y cubed. Again, that's because it's x squared times x, x cubed, y cubed times, well, there's no y, so it just follows along, okay? Now, the next one is then positive 1. Again, remember, if there's no coefficient with a letter, that means it's 1. And there's no negative sign, so it should be positive 1. Then positive 1 times negative 2 will give you negative 2. And then letter by letter. X squared times x gives you x cubed. And y cubed times y gives you y to the power of 4. Now, lastly, because we only have last term left, we are multiplying x squared y cubed to positive 5x z using the distributive law again. So we have positive 1 times positive 5, and that becomes positive 5. Then x squared times x cubed. Now I have y, but there's no y, so y just follows along with it. And then z stays still here, so we simply put z as well, follow along with, okay? So this will be the answer for the G. We cannot collect the like terms because this one has x, y, z, so this is out of the option that we can collect. Now for these two, I have xy, xy, good, the letters are the same. Now the power of the x is 3 and 3, so we're good so far. Now then we have to match the power of the y as well, but unfortunately here we have 3 for the power of y in the first term, and then 4 for the y in the second term. So the powers are not exactly the same. Therefore, these two are not like terms, and that's why we cannot collect these two terms. Okay, so be really careful when you are collecting like terms. It has to be the same variable with the same letter. Okay, now hopefully you understand the harder questions. Okay, hopefully everything was fine, and I will see you guys in class. All right, bye.